particle at a time. Now, we don't tend to view this as a frequency because in our limited human perception, 24 hours is a long time, but it is a natural frequency. Much the same way that animal blood plasma is similar in chemical composition to seawater, in theory because animals evolved in seawater. And if we are attuned to the human resonance, it would have a profound impact on our state of consciousness. It's impossible for someone to be in an agitated and highly focused state when they're in a theta brainwave state. It's impossible for someone to be calm and meditated in a theta brainwave state. Vibrational fields of our body and the music of our body. I'm not just bringing this up as an interesting analogy though, because if you can perceive that everything is a vast symphony of vibration, if you can consider that each molecule is like a musical instrument, each molecule has a specific range of vibration depending on the number of protons, neutrons, and electron states within that molecule, just like each musical instrument has a specific range of octaves it's capable of producing. And these molecules are arranged in our bodies in an unimaginably complex orchestra to form the music which is us. We've been evolving this way for hundreds of millions of years, in part because we have consciousness. In a way, you could say that our consciousness has aided the construction of frequency, we incorporated it into our brain waves, much the same way that animal blood plasma is similar in chemical composition to seawater, in theory because animals evolved in seawater. And if we are attuned to the Schumann resonance, it would have a profound impact on our state of consciousness. It's impossible for someone to be in an agitated and highly focused state when they're in a beta brainwave state. It's impossible for someone to be calm and meditated when they're in a beta brainwave state. So this is one more example of a natural frequency which we may be attuned to and which could potentially have a profound impact on our state of consciousness. Another strong natural frequency which surrounds us but was only relatively recently discovered is the ocean of negative ions in the air we breathe. We've actually evolved to sense this difference in ionic state in the air. It's what we sense as fresh versus stagnant air. Negative ions are created by things like falling water droplets and wind friction, so that air after a thunderstorm or near the surf feels very fresh, whereas air in an enclosed, stuffy room feels very stagnant. And likely we evolved to sense this difference in ionic state of the air because it has some impact on our health. But I believe that our consciousness is also attuned to this frequency, and I'll go into that in a minute. Another strong natural resonance which surrounds us and we never consider is sunlight itself. It has a frequency. And you'll notice when people are sad or depressed, what do? They enclose themselves in a small stuffy room and they draw the curtains. They put themselves into a low light, low ion environment because I believe their consciousness is actually attuned to those frequencies, just like they put on sad music because their consciousness is attuned to